everybody, and welcome to another Liberty's Lantern. Today we're going to be revisiting a topic that we talked about in January, but we're going to be revisiting it for a couple of reasons that has occurred in the last week here in May of 2017. And it's really brought up a lot of talking points, and I think the issue needs to be brought up again. I'm leaving it vague for a very particular reason, so yeah. But let's get this show started, and right. We're back. Okay, so like I gave the teaser before the opening video there, and back in January we talked about this, that the Libertarian Party is unique among political parties because it is a political party, or what a lot of libertarians will call the Big L Libertarian Party, and it is also a political philosophy, or little L libertarians. No other political party has a philosophy and a party by the exact same name. And this causes a lot of issues, even for party professionals sometimes. In the last week, there were comments that were made by a member of the LNC. And his comments have ostracized a lot of people. And it has caused great division within the party. Temporarily, I see us moving forward together again soon. But right now, it has definitely caused a lot of consternation. And the problem is not what he said. Well, it is, but it's not the fact that he said it, because it aligns very well with small L libertarian ideas. And I don't think anyone wants him to be gagged. I know I don't. I want to preserve his freedom of speech. I want to ensure that he has a voice and a pulpit to get his message out. I may not necessarily agree with it 100%. However, I encourage him to have that position. And I do not want his freedom of speech and expression to be compromised in any way, shape, or form. However, because he is an LNC member, because he is a representative member of the party, he needs to understand that his own ideas and his own positions don't always come into play. You have to remember that the LNC represents the Big L Libertarian Party. And you have to follow the constraints or the construct of the Big L Libertarian Party if you want to be a representative of it. Which I feel like a lot of people should be. But one of the things, and going to the bylaws of the Libertarian Party, there's Article 2. And Article 2 is very, very clear, and I'm going to read it to you here for a second. And you can just look up on lp.org bylaws of the Libertarian Party and go to the 2016 edition. And Article 2, the party is organized to implement and give voice to the principles embodied in the Statement of Principles by functioning as a libertarian, small l, political entity separate and distinct from all other political parties or movements, moving public policy in a libertarian, small l, direction by building a political party that elects libertarians, big L, to public office, chartering affiliate parties throughout the United States and promoting their growth. I'm going to say that again. Promoting their growth and activities, nominating candidates for President and Vice President of the United States, and supporting party and affiliate party candidates for political office, and entering into public information activities. The very purpose of the Big L Libertarian Party at its crux is promoting growth and activity. And not necessarily of just the Libertarian Party, but chartering the affiliate parties throughout the United States. So they must support the growth of not only the Big L Libertarian Party, but also all of the state Big L Libertarian parties. And that is the defining purpose of the LNC, or the Libertarian Party itself. When an individual of the LNC makes comments that are hindering of that, I am not going to call for his removal. However, I think his resignation would be warranted because Article 7, subsection 1, sentence 2, the Libertarian, big L, National Committee shall establish and oversee an organizational structure to implement the purposes of the party as stated in Article 2. So the LNC, or the Libertarian National Committee, which this individual is a member of, has the sole purpose of establishing and overseeing organizational structure as stated in Article 2. That is the number one point of the National Committee. And this individual, by making the statements that he made, has ostracized legions, scores, countless individuals by making the comments that he has. Now, once again, I do not want to see him forcibly removed. I don't. I don't believe that force is necessary. I don't think it's warranted. However, it is baffling to me how an individual of his intellect, and I do find this individual to be extremely intelligent. I have spoken to him personally once, but I was immediately struck by his intellect, his ability to communicate. What I fail to comprehend is how he could not understand that his comments, and these comments, according to other individuals, are not isolated. however, only received explosive attention in the last forum that they were given, that they are detrimental to the party. And I will never question this gentleman's devotion to small L libertarian principle. But after these latest comments, I have lost all faith in his ability to represent big L libertarian party. And I don't know what else to say about that. Freedom of speech is vital in our society. I would never want anyone's freedom of speech to be taken away. However, if an individual is in a position of respect, a position of command, they must treat that position as such, understanding the implications and the weight that their words, comments, and ideas may impact that organization. No one would disagree that a business corporation is in the business of making money. However, if Ford was to create a vehicle that was affordable for every single American, and they know that they would sell them day in, day out, make billions of dollars, but the caveat was that after you drove it 5,000 miles, it exploded mid-driving. No individual in that company, regardless of profit motive, would recommend that car enter production. The lawsuits, the loss of future customers, the on and on and on and on ramifications of such an idea would be negligent. No news organization would put on pictures of child pornography, no matter how many people that it would cause to watch their news program out of shock and horror. Because it would be shock and horror if it was related to a case. Let's say it was the Jared from Subway, and they aired his kiddie porn collection. No company would allow any gross violation of what their company's future would be. And the LNC, or the Big L Libertarian Party, is in the same position right now. His comments are detrimental to Article 2 and show a gross negligence of his own duties under Article 7, subsection 1, sentence 2. And it's because of that, I think that he should understand what he has done and submit his resignation. However, then I would continue to support that he turns right around and within the party, using whatever pulpit or whatever speaking method that he has, once he has no title left in the party other than the fact of his reputation, that he continue to speak on the principles of small L libertarianism. Because I definitely see a huge value for that. But for him to hold title, especially on the national committee, is detrimental. I think I've gone on long enough. I feel very passionately about this. I know there are a lot of other people who feel exceedingly passionate about this. On both sides. On both sides. There are people who are calling for his ideas to become part of the national platform, who want to see a return of the 1980s where the LNC, or the Big L Libertarian Party, becomes very closely aligned with small L Libertarian value or ideas. And I believe that that would be, at this time, in direct contradiction of Article 2 of the party. And we would be relegated to a footnote of history. But that's what I have to say about that. I hope you have a great week. I hope to see you next week, where we'll be back on to other news topics and other libertarian ideas and trying to solve the big problems. But you have a great week, and I will see you next week on Liberty's Lantern.